It's Wildcat Wednesday, and the man with all our plant knowledge here in the 4-stage joins us once again, Jacob Weber from the K-State Extension Office. Jacob, thank you so much. This is called a Benjamin fig or a weeping fig. And the reason I know that is because Jacob told me in the break room. I did not know this. Jacob, beautiful plant.
Thank you.
Easy to keep?
This is fairly easy to take care of, and the main problem it has is it grows a little bit faster than what I want. But one of the things I want to talk about is taking care of these plants during the winter months, because they need a little bit different type of care, not terribly a lot.
But I want to jump in. Last time you were here, we were talking about Christmas trees, and you said to water, 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 water.
Yep.
Well, now we've transitioned. I want some foliage on the inside to make my house look pretty.
Well, that Christmas tree didn't have any roots, but this plant here has roots. It also is a growing plant, and one of the things it needs is its grocery store, which is its leaves. It has that. But what drives that grocery store is sunlight, or light, at light intensity, and that's something that we don't have a whole lot of during the winter months. So this plant is essentially starving during the winter.
How do I feed it?
You feed it with more light, not with fertilizer. Fertilizer is just a plant mineral, and it's something that the plant uses to build itself, but the real driving force is photosynthesis from sunlight and carbon dioxide and water inside the leaf tissue here, which is the chlorophyll. And because it doesn't have a whole lot of light, let's take care of this plant a little bit different. Let's try not to force it to grow. Let's not fertilize it during the winter months. Let's say from maybe November on to about the 1st of March, we're not going to fertilize it. We're going to watch the water a little bit better in the potting soil. And the good indicator of moisture content is your fingertip. You just touch the soil and you can feel it. It's moist, so it has adequate level. Since temperatures are a little cooler during the winter months, that potting mix can get a little wet. So we want to avoid excessively wet potting mix because that plant's a little bit weak and it'd be more susceptible to root disease as well. So we want to carefully water it, but wait until it starts to feel a little bit dry on the top. Don't want to get it to the point where it's too dry and starts to wilt. Sunlight's
going to be my best bet, but depending on my geographic location, the way my house is built, what if I don't have direct sunlight through those windows?
Well, the thing that is you do have, in houses where you do have direct sunlight, even that is not sufficient to drive this plant into good growth again, because the intensity of light during the winter months is quite a bit reduced over what it is during the summertime. For example, the intensity during the winter months at noon on a bright winter day is about 1,200 foot candles, whereas on the summer light intensity may be up to 10,000 plus foot candles. So there's quite a bit of difference in intensity, and intensity is what actually drives the photosynthetic process. We don't need that much intensity for these plants because these plants are really better adapted for indoor growth because they survive and thrive on lower light intensity.
And like you said, at this time we're maintaining. We don't want it to get big.
Yeah, well, we want to keep this plant maybe in the brightest room of the house, maybe not necessarily the warmest room in the house. We want to kind of keep that thing on a little bit of a coast cycle. Not too cold, but not too warm either. Keep it away from drafts. I mean, like the furnace.
Keep it away from the furnace.
That dries the plant out very rapidly, and in addition to that, if we have a cold soil and warm air blowing on it, we're going to really dry that plant out because those roots can't absorb water as fast enough to replace what's being lost out of the top when that soil is cold.
Jacob, I want to thank you so much for coming in. Any questions you have about keeping our indoor beautiful during the winter weather, don't hesitate to give Jacob or any extension office a call. Let's come back and talk about that impending storm coming in right after this.